Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today I just want to make sure that we go over some of the details that maybe we missed in part 1 of this case. This is an active and ongoing manhunt for what police are saying could be a very dangerous man with military experience, with training on how to survive in the wild. He could be, they are assuming he's armed and dangerous, and he's accused of murdering his 3 daughters. Oh my goodness. 9-year-old Paityn. There's Paityn, Olivia, and Evelyn. We're going to go over those details in a moment, but this is a very, very shocking and very sad case. So if you haven't ever heard of it before, please know that it comes with a trigger warning. It's a really heavy one, and it's unbelievable to think that a father could potentially do this to his children. Of course, he's innocent until proven guilty, and they still have to catch him. But police are saying that he is the prime suspect. They believe that he killed his daughters. Now, I see a lot of comments and I've received a lot of emails saying, well, what if he didn't? What if somebody else was there? What if they all got abducted? What if something went wrong? What if he owed money to someone? I just think it's a good time to remind ourselves that we, the public, know about 10% of what's going on in any given case. That's what the police stats would tell us, 5 to 10%. They definitely know more details that we don't know. I don't think they would just comfortably be having all these press conferences and saying like we believe he killed them if they didn't think so. They obviously have more evidence based on what they found at the scene. I think they might even have evidence of him buying, for example, plastic bags and zip ties and, you know, coming equipped for something as horrific as this. And so really our goal on social media would be to get the word out so that more people can talk about this case, more people can share the flyer, more people in the area follow what the police are recommending, because you just never know. He could be in your area, right? So if you didn't know, welcome, by the way, everyone. Thank you so much all for being here. Nicole said, just got my Patreon sticker. Love it. Went straight on my laptop. That is really cool. Thank you so much. And thanks for being a member here on YouTube as well. If you didn't know, we'll do a brief recap of this case. We did quite a deep dive. Okay, we did a real deep dive in part 1, and so I want to keep this live stream today short so that everybody can watch it. Even if they only have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, they can watch this and share it, right? So this is the area right now where police are focusing on, is around this Rock Island Campground. But we, in part 1, learned that Travis Decker is 32 years old, the father of the 3 girls found deceased, right? Yeah, he was Googling how to get to Canada, how to apply for jobs in Canada, and all of that. So who knows if he could have, if he's heading that way, has headed that way. They don't know if he's dead or alive, but they assume he's alive, and they're looking for him and using a lot of resources, of course, as well, right? Okay, so this is the area. Now, also, while I'm here on the map, I just want to show you that Wenatchee is the area where they say the girls were picked up from, and Leavenworth is the area where they say the ring cam came from days before. So the mom lived with the girls in Wenatchee. Leavenworth is a different area where the ring cam came from days before, and they were found deceased here on around this Rock Island Campground site, right? Now I'm saying that because a lot of people, actually the media is reporting that the ring cam comes from the home where the girls were picked up, but that's not true. That's not true. It's not where. It's days before and in a different area where the mom lives. So it would be somewhere else. Some people say he could have been knocking on doors, asking for, you know, work or something like that. So yes, okay. Forrest Nelson said, still the best channel with the best host, mods, and chatters. Thank you so much. Mods, if you could just remind people what to do if the sound is glitching for them, that would be awesome. If they could just exit, come back, all of that. The Angel Rock with Lorelei Potvin says, I've finally caught alive. Love Grizzly True Crime and all the Grizzlies. Much love from Canada. Rest in peace, Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, let me just bring this up here quickly. Okay. All right, so here's a quick recap, right? This. Let me just quickly show people this. Do this. All right. On June 3rd of 2025, the Wenatchee Police Department and Chelan County Sheriff's Office, CCSO, announced a manhunt for Travis Decker, accused of killing his 3 daughters, Olivia, 5 years old, Evelyn, 8 years old, and Paityn, 9 years old, whose bodies were found near Rock Island Campground, west of Leavenworth, Washington. So, shame, man. And look at these beautiful pictures. Thank you to Grizzly Cat for helping me find some pictures and videos of the girls as well. Here's a video of them that's also recently been shared, so I'm going to show this to you now.
This is Olivia, and we are in the home. Let me show you around.
Tell them your name.
My name is Evie. This is Olivia, my baby sister.
And that big pile of hair is Evie, or just that face?
That face.
What face? The face that's chunky or the face that is small?
The face that's big. Let us show you the toy room.
Let's get out of this.
Here's the toy room, the games, the kitchen, and also the closet. Let us show you around.
Shame.
Especially our favorite game, the cupcake mix. That is the end of our video. Ooh.
Here's another video as well, and apparently it's Travis Decker in the background narrating this video. And there's pictures of him that's, on the side of this video that I'm showing you. Just how in the hell did we get here? I know that they say he had some mental health struggles. He struggled with PTSD. He had a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. He was struggling with homelessness. Still, how on earth can this happen? How can a father, allegedly, murder his own daughters? And if you haven't heard of how, the details that they shared, then trigger warning, because it's very upsetting and graphic. They said that the girls were found with zip ties around their wrists and plastic bags over their heads. They were asphyxiated and left down an embankment there at that campground. And they were picked up on May 30th, and they must have been dead within hours because they were not brought back. They haven't confirmed that time of death, but they were not brought back that night. They were supposed to be gone for 3 hours. My goodness. Monica says, been watching this case every step of the way from London. It's so heartbreaking. Thank you so much for your sticker.
Make room for it. Okay. Decker. Nice.
You can't stop halfway, Evie.
There we go, Evie. Nice. Olivia. Okay, bringing it down.
Nice.
Bringing it up.
No, put it back.
Bringing it down. Evie, can you check to make sure I'm doing the video right? Okay. Oh, okay, Evie's next.
I like feel bad.
Paityn, can you make sure the video's on?
I broke my butt.
Can you check?
You're on.
Right, can you make sure?
Yeah, it is. Wait.
Yes! Whoa!
Kind of, but you were really close.
It's supposed to be right there.
Okay, go.
You're coming in.
Nice. Evie. Little feet. Nice. Olivia.
Come on, Olivia.
Come on, Olivia.
You got it. Oh, don't pull the chair. That's cheating.
Oh, let's
Oh!
see if I can.
Olivia, move.
I did it.
She got my kid.
So yes, that dad who's narrating in the background there, yeah, he's wanted. The US Marshal shared this flyer. There's lots of flyers going around as well if you want to download them on social media. If you look on the police sites, so that you can download and share. You could even like and share this episode so people can, talk more about this case and get the flyers out in case people spot him and can call 911. So wanted Travis Caleb Decker, wanted for homicide and kidnapping. There is a USMS reward of up to $20,000. He's 32 years old, 5'8", 190 pounds, and scars or tattoos, they say unknown, but yet they shared more images. And there's one image we didn't look at last time, so I'm going to share that with you now, of him, because I think his tattoos are going to be his most distinguishing feature. He looks so different with these different hairstyles, with a moustache, with not, with how he dresses and everything in all the photos we've seen, that the tattoos would be a clear giveaway, right? Forrest Nelson, thank you so much. Okay, so let me quickly see. Tamara said, Grizzly True Crime, the official report says they were found inside the truck near the campground. They didn't say embankment. Interesting. The document said down an embankment from what we've read. So let's quickly now, authorities, obviously, these are the numbers to call. They are in the description box below. He was last seen on May 30th of 2025. And we're also going to clear up some details just from some clips that have come out since we last spoke about this case. I just quickly wanted to show you the basics, just a quick recap, some pictures of the girls who were just, oh my goodness, so beautiful, so full of life, so happy, so close. Like, how could this even happen? So on May 30th of 2025 at 9:35 p.m., WPD responded to a civil complaint from Whitney, the girl's mother, who reported concerns about Declan's homelessness and financial stress. Decker picked up the girls in Wenatchee at 5 p.m. for a visitation, but didn't share his plans. His white 2017 GMC Sierra was tracked via flock cameras crossing the Wenatchee River Bridge. Local hotels, campgrounds, and Confluence Park were searched, but Decker wasn't found. An attempt to locate alert was issued regionally, but the case didn't meet the Amber Alert criteria. Just to go back to the question that Tamara had about the truck, they said that the truck was found completely unoccupied, and they found plastic bags and zip ties strewn around the area, and the girls' bodies were found down an embankment. So that was very clear from the press conferences and the documents that we have gone through together. So I hope that clears that detail up. I also want to clear up the detail of the two bloody handprints on the tailgate. Those were adult handprints, is what the sheriff, Mike Morrison, shared recently on News Nation. So we're going to look at that clip as well. There's a few things. I've got a list here of things that we just want to go over just to build on what we've already shared. On May 31st, Travis Decker and the girls missed a planned 5K running event, unusual given his history of attending their activities. WPD Detective Hewitt, with FBI assistance, obtained phone location data placing Decker around Leavenworth. Searches along Chumstick and Icicle roads were unsuccessful. An endangered missing person alert was activated at 4 p.m., displayed on highway reader boards, and probable cause for 3 counts of first-degree custodial interference was established. On June 1st, arrest warrants for custodial interference were granted. The EMPA was extended beyond its expiration through cooperation with Washington State Patrol and the Department of Transportation. And on June 2nd at 3:47 p.m., a CCSO deputy located Decker's unoccupied vehicle near Rock Island Campground. WPD and CCO searched the area, finding the girls' bodies nearby. Decker was not at the scene, right? Taylor Jade said, I saw a TikTok and a lady said, good point. If he's a classic narcissist, he might be dead, but hid his body so he could torture the mom even more by not finding his body, still having her afraid. That is scary. I do also worry about the safety of Whitney, the mom of the girls, you know, given what he is accused of doing, right? So here's the flyer, and on the right-hand side is a picture that we hadn't looked at before, but that they had shared, of course, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. So look at that flyer. You can find it on their website. I'm linking all my sources, all of their websites and everything, their Facebook pages for you, so that we can share it, right? We can download and share. But you can see he looks so different in all these pictures. And I know this is a bit small now, so what I wanted to do was, they said he was last seen wearing tan or green shirt and dark shorts. Here, I wanted to zoom in just so that we could see he's got tattoos on his ankles, on his calf there. There's one there on what looks like his left ankle. You could see on his arms as well. This is what they have shared. So this is very important because, as I say, it would be an identifying marker, right? To share this in case someone sees it. Maybe he's at a gas station, if he's alive and he's out there, and wherever he is, whether it's Canada, the USA, in the forest, we don't know. We don't know where it could be right now. It could be anywhere. And they are searching an area, but whew, what a forested area. What an area, just with so many places he could hide, right? But the manhunt is ongoing. It's active. It's ongoing. They're using all their resources, even though they've opened up some of the roads. We're going to go over that in a moment as well. Just wanted to show you the pictures, and then we're going to get to some of the updates and the clips and things like that. Okay, and so here he is again with some more images of him from, you know, that they've shared from the tattoos that we can see there on his arms. You can see the parachute one over here as well. 32 years old, 5'8", 190 pounds. Obviously, he could have lost a lot of weight by now. black hair, brown eyes, and clothing last seen wearing a light-colored shirt, possibly tan or green shirt, and dark shorts. Okay, so screenshot these, download them, whatever it is, and share. Here's a close-up of his face that they have shared as well, so that you can just get a look of just how he might be looking, right? He could obviously, depends what he's up to. Depends where he could be or what he's up to. They also shared these pictures as well. All right, Shelby says military background. He's got military background, he's got training, he did like mountain survival courses and things, so he could survive off-grid for up to 2.5 months. They say he served in the U.S. Army from 2013 to 2021 for 8 years as an 11 Bravo infantryman with combat experience in Afghanistan. In 2014 for 4 months. He was part of the elite 75th Ranger Regiment from 2014 to 2016 as an automatic rifleman, and the 173rd Airborne Brigade in 2017 as a paratrooper in Italy. He earned the Expert Infantry Badge and Parachutist Badge, completed airborne school and attended Mountain Survival School and Non-Commissioned Officer Academy in 2018, reaching the rank of Staff Sergeant. Then he transferred to the Washington National Guard 2021 to present, serving as a sergeant, initially full-time and then part-time from 2023 to 2024, but he faced disciplinary discharge for missing drills since mid-2024. So it seems like a lot fell apart for him in mid of 2024, and it seemed like from there it was just downhill with his mental health, right? His training includes advanced infantry combat, wilderness survival, and evasion skills, making him highly capable in rugged environments. Now, as for the rest here, this is what we went over last time, is the whole backstory. The backstory, you know, the parenting plan, everything, the flyers, what happened, the timeline, and all of that. We just recapped the timeline as well. His Google searches, so go and watch part 1 if you missed that. All right, so now what I want to show you quickly is what the sheriff said over here. Sheriff Mike Morrison. I've gone to the initial press conference, which, just hold on one second, I just want to get the date. This was the first press conference. There's been 2 official press conferences. This one was held on June 4th. But I want to show you this section because this is the source of where the dog was found. Because I was wondering, wait, I've heard something about the dog, but I wasn't sure when we were busy with part 1. I'm like, where was the dog found? I don't remember hearing that the dog was at the campsite. I couldn't remember what, but it's from here. So thank you to everyone who also emailed it to me with timestamps so that we could go and, you know, recheck this, and now we can share it here together. So let's just listen to this Q&A part from the press conference from June 4th, which of course some information is updated, then I'll pause and let you know, but just listen to some of the basics of the case here, and that they talk about, whoa, Travis Decker left his dog behind. Like at the campsite, the dog was walking around, but he's accused of killing his daughters, and just like, where is he? And then there's these 2 bloody handprints. We're going to look at that clip as well, which he says were adult handprints, because everyone was wondering, could they were children's handprints? Were they adult handprints? Okay.
We are unsure if Mr. Decker is currently alive, but we are taking it that he is still out there. And again, we will not rest until we've located him, whether he's alive or he's dead. We want to make sure that he's brought back.
And for the public that's keeping an eye out for him, is there anything in his records that...
Because the questions are quite soft, let me just boost it quickly for us a little bit. Okay.
would suggest that he is violent?
Not at this time, but based off the allegations that are being made against him, we do consider him to be a threat towards the community. We also ask the community to stay out of the Icicle Gorge area for the time being until we can secure that area and ensure that he is not there. That is a big area. We're talking about the Enchantments, we're talking about French Creek, going up on those spur trails. It's a popular area that we like to recreate in as well. We don't close it down or encourage people not to go there lightly, but for the best interest of the public, we'd encourage them find other places to recreate until we can ensure that that area is safe. Can you come a little bit closer, ma'am? Thank you.
Would you mind providing a little bit additional details about the scene where the girls were found?
Within reason, but I'm not going to go into a lot of details in regards to the scene because our investigative unit has requested that a lot of that information remain private until we can ensure that the information we are sharing is not going to compromise the investigation. Again, we don't want to rush, we don't want to take any chances that we would give him any opportunity to be able to beat this later on in court.
Is there a belief that he could be outside of this area you guys are searching right now, or is there a strong belief this is the area?
Nope, we have no leads that are showing specifically where he's at. So as we're taking it, he could be anywhere within the nation. And that's why we have our federal partners on scene helping us, bring in additional resources that a medium-sized agency like Chelan County would not be able to provide. Again, this is the importance of having those partnerships with federal government and larger agencies, especially Washington State Patrol. We cannot do this without their assistance, and we're thankful for that.
Do you have any reason to believe Mr. Decker might have found a second vehicle to travel in?
That could be a possibility. Nothing's off the table. We're going to continue to actively pursue him, and we understand that he could be anywhere, and we're taking that into consideration. Thanks to the U.S. Marshal's Office that have come in and brought additional resources. Again, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Homeland Security Investigations, we are searching anywhere and everywhere for him.
Sheriff, thanks for taking our questions. Have you had any contact with Mr. Decker's family?
We have. We've been in continuous contact. I know that Captain Chance and Captain Miller have been in regular communications with them. I spoke with them yesterday and today and assured them that anything they needed from our local resources, they were available. They are absolutely cooperating. They have been very supportive of our efforts, and we've reminded them we could not do this, we could not conduct our investigation and have a better understanding of Travis without their assistance. And again, we're very appreciative of what they've done so far.
Is Upper Icicle Road still physically barricaded? Is there a point where the people cannot?
So now they've opened some of the roads. We're going to look at the latest press release right after this. So what he's going to about to say next about the roads being closed has now changed, okay?
Travel further?
Our barricade will be lifted later on today. Again, we have continued to expand our search further and further down Icicle. Last I heard, we were around milepost 4. Again, we're encouraging people, do not go there. Even if our roadblock is lifted, we are not saying that the area is safe. Until we locate him, we're determining nothing's off the table.
Mr. Decker had a dog with him at certain points. Do
Dog.
we know if the dog was present at that campsite at any point?
We do know the dog was present and that our units, when they arrived on scene, did locate the dog.
Has there been any use?
There it is. There is the timestamp from the first press conference around just before 17 minutes in. Oh, okay, the dog, he did have a dog, and the dog was located at the campsite. Whoa, it's so crazy because what they say is that they believe that he went camping there the night before he even picked up the girls, because they found a campsite that they believe belonged to him. So remember, as I say, I know that everybody's minds goes, wait, what if he didn't murder the girls? What if he's actually being held hostage, or if the cartel did it, or someone else did it, or whatever? But the police have a lot more information than they're able to share with us. For them to come out here and on press conference to say that they believe that he killed his own daughters, that he's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and kidnapping, they know a lot more, obviously, than we know. So who knows what all they found at that campsite? Who knows what all they found in the truck? We know some things, right? There were plastic bags and Ziplocs strewn all around the area as well. The girls had plastic bags over their heads and zip ties around their wrists. So they believe it's him that killed the girls. And he was looking beforehand how to leave and go to Canada, and he's nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? So, but he left his dog at the campsite? The dog was alive. They said the dog was like walking around. So, wow, okay. So there's that detail.
Use of canines in the search.
I would check with our captain, but I am not sure if a dog's been used.
Has there been any other evidence found, bone or anything like that?
There has been other evidence found. We really appreciate Washington State Patrol and their crime lab team for coming in, doing such a thorough search. Our investigative units with detectives, Wenatchee PD, Chelan County Sheriff's Office, again, we did not hustle this. We went through, we were methodical with it, and we made sure to cover every single thing possible because we recognize the weight of this situation.
Sheriff, a question from our newsroom right now. Do you know if any of Mr. Decker's family members are missing? His dad, perhaps?
We've been in communication with several members of Mr. Decker's family. We know that they've also been willing to cooperate with us. I believe his dad's flying in to talk with us and work with us a little bit further. We appreciate their cooperation as well.
So his dad is not missing?
At this time, I'm not aware of his father being missing or any other members of his family missing. Again, that's just based off the information I currently have. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We know that our coroner's office, that'd be the Chelan County's coroner's office, is going through that process and will continue to do their portion of the investigation as well. I won't speak on that half.
Have the girls been brought physically home?
They are still being cared for by the Chelan County coroner's office.
Was there any sign of any other vehicles in the area?
At this time, we have not gotten an update for what additional information has been obtained today. We just know the investigation is ongoing. We'll conclude it at that. Appreciate it. We will have another
Okay, so that was that for the first press conference. There was another one after, and we watched that in the last, in part 1 that we looked at, right? So while he didn't say if the dog was dead or alive, I did see media reporting that the dog was like walking around and at the campsite. So again, let me quickly show you here on this map. If you just look at the map, Rock Island Campground is where the girls' bodies were found, and well, close to there, right? And his truck unoccupied. And where they believe he camped before was actually at these coordinates that they gave in the probable cause affidavit. They said it was walking distance, which I think we looked at last time was a mile or so. Just could you go here? A mile, yeah. A 3-minute walk. So like it's as if he left the dog and other things at this campsite, which could also be clues as to why they think it's him that killed the girls, right? And then his truck and the girls were found around this Rock Island Campground area. And they think he's somewhere in this area. That's where they're looking, this Icicle Creek trailhead around that area. But they do know that he Googled how to get to Canada, jobs in Canada, how to relocate to Canada. So they're considering all options. Now, this is the latest press release. I did link this as well for you so you can look at the updates. And last time I told you there were 7 updates, and now they've done update number 8, right? Yes, map time. Idiocracy 101 says map time. Yes. So Chelan County Sheriff's Office media release update 8. This was at 18:15 hours on the 7th of June. Today is obviously the 9th. So this is the latest one though. The investigation and search continues. They said hundreds of law enforcement personnel worked tirelessly conducting searches of dozens of structures and forests. Law enforcement members have conducted thorough searches of forested areas, the river, and many structures in the area that Mr. Decker was last known to be in. We continue these search efforts, acting upon gathered information and tips from the public and leads developed through even more search warrants. We will be removing the roadblocks and opening the Icicle River Road, as we have determined there to be no credible threat in that area. However, we ask the public remain vigilant as they venture back out to the recreation areas of Chelan County. We have notified the USFS that they can reopen the recreation areas as well. They say in all caps, we like to say this too. If you see something, say something. That's important too. If you see him, you got to call 911. You got to call the police numbers. 911 is the easiest, obviously, to remember. They've shared different numbers. They've shared tip lines. If you know where he is, if he's hiding out or anything like that, there's an anonymous tip line as well. They said we ask the public to continue to help us in the search. Please review your doorbell cameras and security cameras for signs of Mr. Decker. If you are out in the woods or recreation areas and come across something you believe would be beneficial for law enforcement, note the time and the location. Mark the location on your electronics if possible. So if you find items of interest, if you find something of interest, they say please note the time and location and mark the location on your electronics if possible. If you see Mr. Decker, please call 911 immediately. Do not attempt or contact or approach him. Anyone with information is urged to call the CCSO tip line. It's in the description box. It's also on the flyers. It's there on the screen. Or submit your information here, and there they share that as well. So I've shared the link to this for you so that you could just find these updates, which are obviously every time there's something new that comes in. Let's just refresh it and see. Yeah, see, there is something. Wait, yeah, there's something new now. Okay, see, you got to refresh and see. Okay, update 9. We just looked at update 8. Now we're on update 9. Brand new information. Investigation uncovers new details and new search areas. Crime scene evidence begins to shed more information with hundreds of square miles searched by land, water, and air. Search operations have handed over to federal authorities. Our investigators have begun to receive more analysis information back from evidence found at the crime scene. While this does assist in the investigation and later prosecution, it also creates more questions and information for investigators to continue to pursue. We have collected a large amount of evidence, many of the suspect's personal items they say from the truck recovered on scene. The suspect's dog was recovered and, oh, there you go, dog was alive, turned over to Humane Society for safe care. The dog is okay. Blood samples taken from the scene have come back positive for belonging to a male, and another was not human blood. Okay. Further DNA and fingerprint analysis are still being conducted. An autopsy was completed on Friday by the medical examiner. The cause of death was determined to be suffocation, and the manner of death was determined to be homicide. As of approximately 1800 hours last night, CCSO handed over command for search operations to federal authorities. We had reached a point where we need to rest our local resources. Our command staff continues to be engaged with the search command while we give our teams time off to rest and recuperate and be ready to rejoin the search for and capture of the suspect. CCSO remains in command of the criminal investigation. Should our investigation lead to more information regarding the suspect's location, search teams will be notified. Lastly, we understand the frustration many citizens have in not having all the details of this investigation. During any criminal investigation, including this one, there is law enforcement sensitive information that is not shared with, that's what we were saying, that's not shared with the public in order to protect the integrity of the investigation. We appreciate the public's patience, understanding, and cooperation during this complex and emotional investigation. Whoa, so this is brand new information. So what was new there was the autopsies are complete. Suffocation is the cause of death, manner of death, homicide, and that they said here we have collected large amount of evidence, many of the suspect's personal items. The suspect's dog was recovered and turned over to the Humane Society for safe care. Blood samples taken from the scene have come back positive for belonging to a male, and another was not human blood. Holy crap. Okay, so now would be the time to show you this clip right here where Ashley Banfield asked a very specific question. Listen to this.
Sheriff, can you tell me about the bloody handprints on the suspect's vehicle, on their father's vehicle? Were those likely his handprints or the children's?
Absolutely. It does look like the blood print that we found on the back of the truck was about the size of an adult handprint. We're unsure if that's coming from Travis or anyone else that might have been on scene. Again, we're not ruling anything out, but we will go through. We've got samples, thanks to Washington State Patrol and Chief Batiste for sending over his crime lab team. We had a several-hour assessment of the crime scene, collecting evidence. We've started processing that information in addition to processing electronic devices we found on scene. So we're hoping to get a better understanding of what happened, who might have been on scene, and where we can go from here.
Sheriff Morrison.
So that was the question there about the blood prints being adult blood prints, right? I'm looking at flight radar as well. So you heard that, right? Okay, so thank you for everyone sharing some information about flight radar. I'll be monitoring that as well, just to see where they're searching and what's happening. Then I quickly wanted to show you, we did go over this last time, but I see a lot of people missed it, obviously because the episode was quite long. I'm trying to keep this one a little bit shorter. Government Ferguson is deploying National Guard emergency funds to aid in search for Travis Decker. They said Washington Governor Bob Ferguson announced he will use emergency funding to aid in the search for Travis Decker, the man accused of kidnapping and killing his 3 young daughters near Leavenworth. Ferguson will also be using resources from the Washington National Guard. He made the announcement on Friday night. Tonight, I'm tapping emergency funds and ordering Washington National Guard resources to support the search for Travis Decker, who is suspected of killing his 3 daughters. At the request of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, we will be providing helicopter transportation for law enforcement as they search in remote areas. So that's what he said there, right? All right, so then let's quickly have a look what I have here for you. There's a clip here I wanted to show you.
With a massive manhunt underway, campgrounds, trails, and forest roads are all off limits while investigators search for 32-year-old Travis Decker.
If he's out on the loose, then I don't think they have any other choice, really, do they?
I just think that it's more dangerous to have, if you know he's in that particular area.
The closures include the Enchantments and the entire Icicle Creek area near Leavenworth, as well as the Lake Chelan National Recreation Area and Pacific Crest Trail.
Well, I feel that there's a guy out there that's killing people, his own family, and wants him to stop from killing somebody else.
The Army veteran is charged with killing.
It's a good point as well. I mean, if he's capable of, and he's accused of, killing his own daughters, well, then he's capable of anything.
His 3 daughters, whose bodies were found at a campground 11 miles from the Pacific Crest Trail, which offers a direct route into Canada.
Is he a danger? Probably, most likely, yeah, but I don't think he's here no more.
Google searches done in the days before Decker disappeared show he looked up things like how to relocate to Canada and Jobs Canada, further bolstering the possibility that he's headed for the border. That has led to federal charges for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, on top of the murder and kidnapping charges he already faces. And while his whereabouts remain unknown, not everyone thinks closing a huge number of campgrounds will help.
Them shutting down state parks, I don't think is a good idea. I mean, the more people out there could see him, the better, right?
Well, I mean, I understand his point, but he's considered very dangerous. So that is why they're obviously doing that, right? Now, let's just quickly look here, just to show you these Facebook pages, of course. So if you haven't seen these, this would be the Wenatchee Police Department one is one to monitor as well. Like this. Okay, let's just see what they have here. That was an hour ago. We should actually just refresh it. Hold on one second. Just want to refresh, make sure we're on the right page. Yes. Upcoming town hall meeting now. Okay, the Wenatchee Police Department, this was from June 7th, has no updates but remain. Obviously, we just read the latest updates, right? And so you can follow this if you want to just go and see what they had posted before. And then, let me quickly show you this one, which is the how do we say that? Kitatas. This one, County Sheriff said they shared the U.S. Forest Service Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. So they said the forest order closing the Icicle Creek area near Leavenworth, Washington, has been rescinded in coordination with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. So some roads, as we read, were opened. The area has reopened effective 8 a.m. on June 8th. Enchantment area overnight permits will resume on Monday, June 9th. Authorities are still searching for the suspect, and we encourage visitors to the forest to remain alert. Now, they did say previously that you should leave all the lights on, check your ring cams, that you should lock barns, sheds, doors, close windows, but leave your blinds open. And a lot of people had questions about that. And so I went to research, like, why would police say leave your blinds open? They say so that they can have a better visual on him as well, if they are watching the area, or that if anyone could see him, like, around the house, you would spot him, you know? So that's why they say that, because I know people would want to obviously close their blinds and be like, wait, what? But they have told people to leave their blinds open. Now, this is the ring cam I was referring to earlier, which they said was from days before he even picked up the girls. This was in the Leavenworth area. They didn't specify an address. Online, there's a lot of talk because of mainstream media saying that this is ring cam from when he picked up the girls, but it isn't. That's not what the police said. They didn't say this is from when he picked up the girls. They said this was from days before in an undisclosed location, yet around the Leavenworth area, and where he picked up the girls from on May 30th was Wenatchee. So they just wanted to show us this, which they clarified in those press conferences too, just to show what he could look like, you know. So check your ring cams, dash cams, any footage that you have, if you live in the area, of course. Well, actually all around. Just check it anyway. And if you find anything of interest, you can send it to the police. I don't know if he was like checking the door there, feeling the door, what he's doing. I have no idea. Some people say he could have been knocking on doors, asking for work or something like that. But yeah, they shared that ring cam there with us. That's where that is from. So we've gone over that. This is obviously, let me just refresh this thing, as they do have a new update there that we just saw. This was, yeah, an hour ago. That's what we just read. Okay, so this is the update that we just read from that website that I showed you. It's new information from at least within an hour ago. And they talked about the blood evidence being from a male. They didn't say his. That's interesting. A male. Okay, and one that is non-human, not human blood. 2 bloody handprints on the tailgate of his truck. He left his truck behind. Apparently, his phone, wallet, I think keys, were in the truck. There were plastic bags strewn around, zip ties, and his girls' bodies, the daughters' bodies, were found down an embankment, as it was worded in the probable cause affidavit, close to the truck, near that Rock Island Campground. So, well, that's interesting information there as well. That's new information that they have now, so they're sharing a little bit more. Let's quickly have a look at this clip here.
Closed until further notice, and this is a popular area. You can see that car there, likely belonging to a camper who was here overnight. Just one of many people who have been leaving this parking lot or arriving unaware of the restrictions. One resident fears Travis Decker could still be here, looking for a way to escape. That's why he's been trying to convince cabin residents here to lock their doors. Dean Summers drove us to a couple homes he maintains for work. He says a number of other homes also look like this, wide open for anybody to walk into. We also saw cars and bikes unattended. We were there as Dean spoke with a couple of neighbors, urging them to be cautious.
2 of the neighbors weren't around. One of the neighbors had their door open the guy's girlfriend was there. And she's like, oh, there's a manhunt around, you know, I'm scared. You scared the hell out of me. And I'm thinking, why'd you have your door open? Why was the garage door open with all the mountain bikes and all?
Right? I mean, it is important. That's why they say lock the barns, sheds, lock your doors, close your windows. They want you to leave the blinds open and lights on, also so that they can capture better ring cam footage and things like that. But yeah, he makes a good point, right?
Things for anyone like this could escape.
Law enforcement officials are working on leads around the clock. We've seen them rushing around Icicle Road here today in cruisers, and at least one helicopter hovering above the canopy before darting in another direction. Back here live at the trailhead, again, that's just one of the cars that we've seen here today. Others here were parked as people came from the wilderness and took off. There was at least one dad and his son who came here unaware of the restrictions, Joyce, in place until further notice.
And then what? Obviously, they've lifted some of those restrictions now. I just wanted to show you the good point of locking doors and all of that as well. Let me just quickly see. There was one other clip that I had for you. One more, and then we are done for now.
Video shared with us shows the fun these three sisters had together. Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia, described by family members as shining brightly with creativity, confidence, and joy.
There are no words that can capture the weight of this loss.
We ache with the love we still carry for them, and we always will.
Families of the Wenatchee Valley expressing their pain and sorrow with handwritten notes, stuffed animals, and tricolor hearts.
This valley helped nurture the creativity, confidence, and joy that Paityn and Evelyn and Olivia shined so brightly.
Family friends Amy Edwards and Mark Belton tell us the girl's mother, Whitney, is grieving the unimaginable with an immeasurable hole in her heart. Is there anything that people watching can do to help in any way?
So there is a group, and we ask that they look that up on Facebook, where they can see ways that they can support this movement.
For the moment, they say cards and donations will help Whitney as she helps investigators. But the greater conversation on preventing these tragedies continues, centered around immediately getting mental help to those in need.
But Travis couldn't get those things. He tried, he reached out to some resources.
Whitney's attorney told us they've now learned Travis Decker reached out to the VA for help, but the hoops he needed to connect with those resources, she said, were so great.
Especially someone with mental health struggles really cannot do that on their own without an advocate.
Okay, and that is that clip that I wanted to share with you. So we've gone over everything that we could today just to add to what we already knew. If you're brand new to the case, I hope you'll check out part 1. That was a deep dive with a lot of backstory as well. So just over the checklist that I made for us, we discovered that, okay, the dog was found at the campsite and is okay and has been taken in. The bloody handprints were adult handprints, and they confirmed today that the blood belonged to a male, and there was also non-human blood. We also went over some new images of Travis Decker that the police had shared. That's on all their Facebook pages that I've linked below for you. We went over the ring cam and kind of debunked that it's from the mother's house, because that's not what the police said. They said it's from days before and in a different area. The purpose of sharing it was to show what he could look like, of course. We went over the latest press releases, of which one was just recently now, some news clips, and the areas that have now been opened again after being closed to any hikers, campers, or any, people wanting to recreate there. They've been opened, some of them now as well, which the exact details, if you're local, I would recommend checking out rather than my map time, right? Go and check out what the police are sharing, because they share detailed maps and locations to see if you live in the area, you'll know exactly where that is, to say, okay, now these roads are opened. Or maybe if you were planning a camping trip there, now you know which areas are open and which areas are closed. And no matter what, make sure that you stay vigilant, be very careful. If you spot him, Travis Decker, you need to call 911. That is the instruction they give, right? Okay, so we went over all of that. All the numbers are in the description box. I will continue to keep a very close eye on this case. Of course, it's extremely concerning based on all the experience he has from, his military experience and surviving in the mountains and the wild and all of that, survival skills. But on top of that, we know that his mental health is not okay by any means. So who knows where he's at, what he's doing, what he's thinking, what his plan is, whether he's dead or alive. The police are assuming he is alive, that he is at large. This is an active and ongoing manhunt. And even I see people saying, but he obviously went the opposite way. He could have. He could have gone the opposite way. They have the FBI, the National Guard, the U.S. Marshals, everybody on board looking for him. I think they're pretty smart. They're gonna find him at some point, right? So I'm sure they've thought of all the things that we on social media can think up, you know. So I wish them very well with their search. I hope that we meet again very soon and that we could say, oh my word, they've caught him or found him or whatever it is. And if they catch him alive, yeah, that he will be held accountable for what they believe he did. Okay, everyone, so thank you so much. Please like and share because it's very important to get this information out. I will continue to share the flyers on X and everywhere else. And I look forward to reading your comments. Please read your comments below. I was very busy, very focused on what I was showing you today, so I missed a lot of your comments. I'm going to look at the live chat replay. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one.